All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's settle down. We're so excited about end the month with this young man. What a great way to end our last Thursday of the month with this young man. And he's one of my favorites. You heard me say that before. He just moved to Oregon. His lovely wife wanted some more property to put her horses on and wanted some chances to expand and go to another area to expand his business. And I was just with some of his organization down in Fresno, and they came in like gangbusters and rode up on us. Doing a fantastic job that just came out of the high of coming out of Southern California. So I'm just so excited about having on the call today. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Get ready for the one and only, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Good to see you all, and definitely happy to be here with you. So yeah, I was listening to Al get things started, and every once in a while, right, we got to try to listen and observe something as a new person, right? And I'm sitting there listening, and here's what I took away. Just so you know, what I took away from the beginning of Al starting this call. You guys know this. I've done this call for going on 5 years, and every other month on Thursdays for 5 years. And I want you guys to know something. The energy that Al brings to the beginning of this call is so consistent every single time I'm on this call. So guess what that lets me know? If he's the same way every time he does the call that I'm on every other month on a Thursday, that's a very good indicator that he's probably like that every month on a Thursday, which lets me know he's probably like that every day of every month he does this call, which lets me know he's probably like that every day, period. And I'm just telling you guys, it's attractive. It's inviting when you have that kind of energy, right? I'm letting you know it is attractive. And if it doesn't attract a person, then they weren't the right person. But that's probably not going to be the case for most people. They're at least going to want to know, hey, what, your name is Al? Like, dude, what do you got going on? Like, what is up? And that's all he needs. You guys understand when someone says, hey, what are you doing? What is going on? What is up? That is the door being cracked for you to be able to have a conversation. Now, are you ready for that conversation? That's on you. That's on you, because Al can't be, babysitting you and rolling around with you at every single part of your life. Got to take the nipple out of the mouth, like Larry Raskin would say. Can't be babied anymore. Like, you got to know what to say, but string a few words together. But the energy can open doors all over the place. You guys agree with that? Yes or no? I'm telling you guys, there's no doubt about it. Listen. I got some stuff for you guys. So I need to know from the get-go. Like, I got it right here. New set of notes, ready to show. And I just need to know, are y'all focused with me, and are you ready to get this? Yes or no? Well, I appreciate Catherine. Okay, Catherine, Danny, you're good. Sensational Sharon, you're good. Okay, hey, listen, I'm just checking. Gloria, you're good. Layla, you're good. Okay, cool. Maria, I'm checking with you. You're in the middle of my screen. You're like the middle of the Brady Bunch on my screen. Okay, cool. All right, you guys. So here's what we talked about in August. So Mr. T, thank you for everything. Thank you for everything that you do. The leadership, not only for your team, but within the company, and creating this platform for everybody, I think is awesome. So I appreciate you, man. All right, you guys, what did we call August? This is going to be a lot of interaction. You guys are going to be putting some stuff in the chat. If you're driving, don't get into an accident. Thank you, Jackie Black. Achievement. This whole thing this month was achievement. And now here comes a really direct question for all of you. And this is typically the part where people tune out. So if you're tuning out right now, it's okay. Like, your camera's not on, you're tuning out, you're not really... Then that's probably a sign, right? Doesn't mean you're a good person, bad person. It's just a sign, right? Like, success leaves clues. So here's the question. At the beginning of this month, we talked about where you are in points and where you are in team members. And we said we were going to check in at the end of August. Now, I can't see all of your reports, right? But I do know that some of you have advanced your businesses over the course of this month. And I know that some of you, your business is in the exact same spot it was at the beginning of August. So you need to evaluate that, and you need to take stock in that information. That is data that is important in advancing your business. Who understands that? Know that I said this, you guys. I've said for years on this call, if your goal is to be at the position that you've achieved and you're there, congratulations. If you set out to be an executive team leader and that was your goal and you are an executive team leader, I know Al will congratulate you. I'll certainly congratulate you. Right? I'll use somebody that I know is on this call. Are you guys hearing my sound? It says the sound is, somebody said the sound is coming in and out. Can you all hear me okay? I have a good connection on my side. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna give you guys an example, right? We have a guy on our team out on the East Coast under Greg Williamson. His name is Alvaro. And here's what I know about him. I'd never met him in person, but Alvaro was out of the country during our national in Cleveland, but he committed to coming to Palm Desert. Sure enough, there. And next to his name on the list, I know it says ETL, but I know that's not his goal. I know that's just a stop along the way. So I want you guys to really think about this for a second. Have you arrived at your destination, or is your place where you are right now just a stop along the way? Man, I got to get more customers. I got to get more team members. I got to do. Yeah, that's what we do. But do you see yourself as a leader, someone who knows this business, who understands and has mastered the basics? Because see, if you master the basics of the business, that gives you the best chance to succeed. And you guys, we only do 3 things. I'm not going into it other than to say we get customers, we build teams, and we promote events. So last week, I talked about, and I started with 3 questions. Have you, are you, and will you? Who remembers that conversation from last week? Have you done what you said you're going to do? Are you doing what you said you're going to do? And will you? And those are really important elements in terms of achievement. But let me dive into this part for today. Okay. As a leader, right? One of the things that I hope you guys have all heard from me, or maybe learned from me, or whatever. Leaders, 4 things, you guys, write these down. Leaders never show worry, doubt, fear, or anger. Leaders never show worry, doubt, fear, or anger, right? Notice I didn't say you don't have those things. You're human, so am I. Right? I didn't say you won't show worry, or I didn't say you won't have worry, you won't have doubt, you won't have fear, and you won't have anger. I didn't say that. And if anybody tells you you shouldn't have those things, I would tell you they're wrong. That's my opinion. I'm just one guy, because you're human. But do you show it? Do you know how to properly channel those things? Can you turn those things into a positive? I'm telling you that you can. You know, last week, in the last couple of weeks, we talked about that scene from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? Like, for those of you who have not watched it, shame on you, American classic. But the scene was Damone talking about going on a date, talking to Rat, the young guy, about taking this girl on a date. No matter where you are, it's great. There you are. There's the place to be. Isn't this great? Isn't this great? There's 10 people at our PBR. Isn't this great? There's only 1 person that made it. Isn't this great? We're one-on-one. No matter what's coming your way, you turn it into a positive. That is the job of a leader. I said this before. Here's a sign of a leader. Everything is falling apart around you. Personal, professional, everything. Greg Williamson watched it. Perfect, Greg. then you know what scene I'm talking about. It's great. It has everything to do with what we do. It has everything to do with what we do. So they wouldn't be my customer. Great. You're one step closer to getting a customer because not everyone says no. You have to go through no's to get to yeses. Great. So my point is, can you make your environment the place to be? Can you make this opportunity the one to get? Can you make that time with you? Can you make yourself the person that can lead someone? Does that mean talk and brag about yourself? Absolutely not. Do you guys understand? Do you guys follow along? This is so important. Who on this call understands that there is a massive difference between confidence and conceit? Who understands that difference? You can be confident and not conceited. You can be sure of what you're doing without bragging. You just know what you know. And you know what you know because you've been there. Right? So let me tell you guys. I have something I'm going to show you, and I hope that this works. I have a quick video, and I want you guys to pay attention. Now, look, it's the beginning of football season. I'm a football junkie, so you're just going to have to deal with it. But there's a lesson in this interview. It's quick, but it's important. You guys, it's important. Okay? Now, you got to listen carefully because he speaks kind of softly. All right? You guys, please listen. At the time, Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback for the Packers, and I want you guys to listen to what he says. It's going to apply to our ACN business.
I made in 2016 playoffs. We're playing Dallas, 3rd and 20 with like 13 seconds left, and we call the play that actually came up in a bullshit session on a Saturday walkthrough, where we dash the protection left, lineman leaks out, and is my personal protector, and I'm running at about 80% to my left and trying to throw a ball 40 yards down the field to a mark. And people are like, how the hell did you make that throw? I said, I made it in practice. I made it in practice multiple times. We would practice a play very similar, and I remember in my body what it felt like to be moving hard to my left and to be able to put the ball exactly where I wanted. And so you lock in that rep with that memory, and the recall is being able to just tap into that in a split second and to just feel that ball off your hand go exactly where you want it.
The question was, how did you make that throw? What was his answer? What was his answer? Somebody type it in the chat, or Mr. Clemens, you can unmute someone. They asked him, how did you make that throw? He said, what? There you go. Look at Mr. T there. Now people are freaking listening. Practice. They did it over and over. See, you guys, if you're not doing stuff over and over in ACN, listen, it's your first time every time. If you're not doing it over and over, how do you gain the confidence to do the 3 basic things that we do? Like, you guys, write this down. Bad before you're good. Good before you're great. Great before you're excellent. Excellent before you are proficient. Bad before you're good. Good before you're great. Great before you're excellent. And excellent before you are proficient. Which means you can do it blindfolded. You can start predicting conversations. That's a leader. I'm going to tell you this. Like, look, you guys, here we go. Mr. T, gloves are coming off. Am I good? Look, if you've been in ACN longer than 4 months, you should know how to launch and qualify a rep. Right? I mean, if you've been in ACN longer than 4 months, you know, you should be able to launch and qualify a rep. Create value for someone knocking out their first few services and getting into a position to get promoted and paid. If you've been in ACN longer than 4 months and you are learning this business, you should be able to communicate the value of a group meeting. right? Now, you're not in trouble if you don't. I'm just telling you, I think you should. Because what it tells me is that if somebody's participating with the training with the leader that's working with them, and they're stumbling in these areas, there's one of two things that are happening. Number one, the training is falling short, or number two, your attention is falling short. Who agrees with that? Is that direct, yes or no? That's a fact. Okay? What basics don't you know? What don't you know about your back office? What don't you know about launching a new rep? What don't you know about doing the presentation? What don't you know about those things? Well, guess what, you guys? When you start figuring that out and you attack it, you attack what you don't know, you'll know. Right? You'll get the information. And you know what happens the majority of time when you do? You'll be like, man, I thought this was so much harder than it is. This ain't that hard. You guys, for those of us who are a little bit older, who understands that our worst fears rarely come to pass? That's a mind game. You guys, that's a joke. You know, it's funny. You guys, I'll give you a perfect example. You have a brand new rep, and that brand new rep, our worst fears rarely come to pass. And the older we get, the more clear that becomes. And you have a new rep, and that new rep is getting promoted, and they're scared blankless, right? To get up in front. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk in front of the room. I don't want to talk in front of the room. And you get them up there, and they do a little testimonial, right? And then they get that second promotion, and that testimonial becomes a test-a-trainamonial, and they're up there for an hour. You can't get that person off the stage. You can't get that person to give up the mic on the Zoom, because what they feared was going to be so difficult is actually not. And then they actually started to enjoy it. And you have to remind them, do you remember when you wouldn't even get in front of the room? And now we got to pull the hook. We can't get you off the stage. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is if you identify the things that you don't know and you attack it, watch what happens for you. Right? What personal areas are holding you back from getting where you're supposed to go? Is it time management? Is it information management? Is it unrealistic expectations? Are you the person that keeps rearranging their desk? Like, you guys, right? Look at this. I moved into the office in the house. Look at this. Look at this. This is all the stuff sitting on the floor. I can't even get my office made up. The reason I'm telling you guys this up here in Washington, we're just north of Oregon. The reason I'm telling you this is because there's priorities of things. I will figure out time to put all that stuff away. But right now, I need to be doing these Zooms. I need to be building into this fourth quarter. You guys, for those of you who are NBA fans, who understands that it gets really exciting about halfway through the fourth quarter? Who understands that? Right? Who understands that if you are a sports fan, if you're a football fan, man, you want a close game into the what? The fourth quarter. You know, finish this statement. Finish this statement. Listen, you guys, freaking listen up. Finish this statement. It's not how you start, it's how you guys, we're coming into the fourth quarter. Do you guys understand that there's people that can do the amount of production in the fourth quarter that will exceed everything that they've done all year? For two reasons. Reason number one is because people are going to start shaking off the summer cobwebs. They're going to start shaking off the chilling, the late, like now it's time to get back to work. Freaking kids are in school. They got theater, they got basketball, they got this, they got the extra programs they're doing. And now mom and dad need to make some money. Mom and dad need to get serious. Why? Because we're going to blink and it's going to be Halloween. And then we're going to blink and it's going to be Thanksgiving. And and then we're going to blink and it's going to be the new year. Y'all agree with that? Yes or no? That's how fast it's going to happen. Well, guess what? It's not even Labor Day yet. Now is the time to set up the fourth quarter for you. It's a few days away. Do you guys realize that 5 phone calls could change your fourth quarter? What if one of them looks at the business and it's an Al Thomas? I'm telling you, your business and potentially your life has changed. So you guys, here's what I want you to know. We have a window of time, and I've been talking about this for 4 months. For those of you that were with us in Palm Desert, for those of you that were with us in Cleveland, here was the window of time. Follow along so you know I'm not making this up on the fly. Follow along. I was saying before Cleveland, we have some windows of time. We have from now until Cleveland, Cleveland to Palm Desert to Orlando, Orlando to Tahoe, and Tahoe to the New Year. How many of you heard me say that before? Okay, perfect. Now watch this. Cleveland, check mark, done. Palm Desert, check mark, done. It is now building from now to Orlando, Orlando into Tahoe, and we already have our first Palm Desert leadership setup that we just talked about with the influencers and the co-founders of the company. You guys, here's my closing message before I have one more screenshot to show you. Who wants to win in this? Like, who wants to win, seriously win in this? Seriously win. All right, cool. Yeah, I see Robert. Robert doesn't even fit on the screen anymore. I got you, Robert. All right, listen. I'm asking you. You had Mr. Thomas in Fresno. Listen to me. Leverage the events and the leaders to advance your business. Leverage the events and the leaders to advance your business. Amateurs promote a business, professionals promote a person. Where are the very best people going to be over the course of the next 5 months? They're going to be at the events that I just told you about. And now you're bringing teams of people to the event. If anybody remembers Mike Cain's story, Mike Cain talked about going to the first event in Detroit, Michigan. And he's like, well, honey, I rented 3 Greyhounds. And she go, and his wife was like, well, you don't have anybody going. He's like, right, I got to fill them up, because if I can't fill them up, I'm in trouble. And he filled them up. Tony Kupas talked about, instead of promote and to register to promote. Register for Orlando, register for these events so you get people coming with you. They're following your leadership. And watch what happens for you. Lead from the front. Make sense, everybody? All right, last thing to show you, and then I think Mr. T is going to be like, man, we got somehow we got through another month with this guy. So I'm sure this is probably going to be the last training that Mr. T is going to have me do for maybe 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. Look, this might be my swan song, so this is a good thing to end on. So here we go. Laziness kills ambition. Anger kills wisdom. Fear kills dreams. Ego kills growth. Jealousy kills peace. Doubt kills confidence. Everybody got it? Everybody got it? Watch this. Now read it from right to left, not left to right. Read it from right to left. Here goes. Ambition kills laziness. Wisdom kills anger. Dreams kill fear. Growth kills ego. Peace kills jealousy. And confidence kills doubt. That confidence will come from you plugging in and participating and actively increasing your knowledge and skills, and most importantly, your actions. So there you go. That's what I got. I'm excited to see what happens for you guys.